Good, happy Saturday evening. I'm Riley King. Welcome to this Saturday evening edition of the Riley King Newscast, right here on the Riley King Network. Let's get started right now. First up, Atkinson Selectman terminated from public safety job in Pennsylvania. Let's take a listen to that video from WMUR News 9.
Welcome to Bell-Tate's Building Products.
Homeowners and contractors have different needs when it comes to home repairs and improvements.
Do I have a motion to terminate the Public Safety Director, William Baldwin, effective immediately?
So moved.
Second.
During a council meeting on Saturday morning, the Borough of Middletown, Pennsylvania, voted to terminate William Baldwin as its Public Safety Director.
Madam Secretary, please call the roll.
Yes.
Ms. Miller?
Yes.
Ms. Mullenbecker?
Yes.
Mr. Rudiger?
Yes. Motion carries.
The council did not give a reason for firing Baldwin. According to Pennsylvania court documents obtained by News 9, Baldwin, seen here in a previous interview with our sister station WGAL, was arrested on March 16th after he crashed his New Hampshire registered SUV off the side of a state highway. The 51-year-old faces multiple DUI charges. Baldwin also serves on the Atkinson Board of Selectmen. He's currently in his fourth term. During an interview with News 9 on Friday, Chairman Bob Warden says he was unaware that Baldwin held another position in Pennsylvania.
The board took the matter to our police chief and also to our legal counsel, and right now this is under thorough investigation, and the board at this time feels it's injudicious to make further comment until we get all the facts.
Now, we have reached out to Baldwin for a comment, but our calls and messages have gone unanswered. Reporting live tonight, I'm Tim Callery, WMUR News 9.
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. Former Grafton County Department of Corrections Corporal accused of assaulting 2 inmates. Let's take a listen to that video from WMUR News 9.
Are you looking for a rewarding career with purpose? Join our dynamic team that's dedicated to making a difference. Bring your talent to Riverbend Community Mental Health. Specialized behavioral health by providers who truly care.
A Vermont man is accused of sexually assaulting 2 female inmates at Grafton County House of Corrections in North Haverhill. Court documents say 24-year-old Max Fournier used his authority to coerce the women into sexual acts. The Grafton County Sheriff says Fournier was working at the jail as a corporal at the time. Fournier set to be arraigned next month.
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. Adam and Kayla Montgomery indicted on charges not directly related to the girls' disappearance. Let's take a listen to that video from WMUR News 9.
If someone out there has information about Harmony and they haven't come forward yet, then you're late. You're late to this investigation. You need to do so now.
Strong words from Manchester Police Chief Alan Aldenberg. His department's search for 7-year-old Harmony Montgomery began roughly 3 months ago.
Time to be a decent human being and come forward if you have information, any information about the location of Harmony Montgomery.
Harmony's father, Adam Montgomery, and his wife, Kayla, have now been indicted on charges not related to Harmony's disappearance. Adam charged with second-degree assault for allegedly hitting Harmony in the face between July 1st and 22nd of 2019. As News 9 investigates, first reported on July 29th, 2019, an anonymous call to DCYF alleged that Harmony had a black eye. According to a report from the governor's office, a child protection service worker went to the home that same day and sent an email to police saying they did not see a black eye. Kayla Montgomery is charged with theft by deception. Investigators say she claimed Harmony was still a member of her household, even though she wasn't living there. And that led to Kayla receiving state benefits that she wasn't entitled to.
So the process on the charges of those two individuals continue, and we're hopeful that we'll get the resolution that we want in court.
But the resolution investigators want more than anything is to find Harmony.
I'm imploring the community and those out there that may have information to do the right thing and to contact the Manchester Police Department immediately.
The reward money for information that leads to Harmony Montgomery has now grown to $150,000. If you have any information at all, you can call that 24-hour dedicated tip line. It's the number right there on your screen, 603-203-6060. Reporting live in Manchester, Mike Cronin, WMUR News 9.
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. New Hampshire CEO travels to Poland to help Ukraine refugees. Let's take a listen to that video from WMUR News 9.
I couldn't think of a reason why I wouldn't come, and frankly, I would have felt badly if I had.
Ken Jacobus, the CEO of New Hampshire-based company Good Start Packaging, is volunteering in Poland, a country of 40 million. He says now has over 2 million refugees.
We've all seen these kind of things before, and it is heartbreaking, and I certainly could have written a check to some charities as I've done in the past, but there was just something about this one that really called to me.
Ken joined a group of volunteer drivers. They're taking vans to refugee reception areas, then bringing people to safety.
It's extremely heartbreaking to hear some of the stories that I have heard of people losing their homes, seeing their loved ones killed.
Some of these stories, children who've lost their innocence, cancer patients going through chemotherapy only to have to evacuate during their treatment.
They're great people. They're just like people like everybody else, and they just they don't deserve this terrible injustice.
Ken isn't just helping on the ground. He's also donating hotel rooms and meals, helping to find doctors for those who need them. His message is one of example. We can all take action.
The scale of injustice, the number of families and children that are involved here, and just the fact that just the numbers just don't lend themselves to us being able to just say, well, the European countries can take care of it. It's way too much.
And Ken has a daily chronicle on the Good Start Packaging website where you can check in on his journey. That website also has info if you're interested in supporting Ukrainian refugees. We have that link on our website, WMUR.com. Reporting live, Grace Feinerman, WMUR News.
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. Waypoint holds 8th annual Sleepout, raising awareness for youth homelessness. Let's take a listen to that video from WMUR News 9.
A group of 40 students from Spalding High School are sleeping outside tonight in tents, sleeping bags, and on air mattresses. And they are just some of the more than 200 students statewide who are participating in Waypoint's 8th annual Sleepout event, which raises awareness for youth homelessness in the state.
We're not fully getting that full experience of, sleeping on the ground without blankets and stuff, but we're getting somewhat of an experience of not sleeping in a bed, which some students and kids don't have. So I'm definitely happy to be out here and support and, just kind of get a little bit of a gist of what it's like.
According to Waypoint, roughly 15,000 young adults experience homelessness in New Hampshire each year.
Young people want to be invisible in their housing instability because there's a stigma attached to being homeless, and it looks different. They might be doubled up at a friend's house. It might be the kid that just never wants to leave your house because home doesn't feel safe.
And it's not just awareness. All the kids out here raised money to be here. Money that'll be reinvested into their own Rochester community in the form of a youth drop-in center.
And a drop-in center is different from an overnight youth shelter in that we're open during the day and we're a soft landing spot for young people experiencing housing instability and homelessness.
Money raised from other sleep out events will help fund the overnight youth shelter in Manchester, scheduled to be completed later this year.
It's good to know that all the donations came from us and is going straight to our community, so it's good to know that we're helping them out.
In Rochester, Scott Cook, WMUR News 9.
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. Over in Boston, portion of parking garage collapse in Haymarket area of Boston. Let's take a listen to that video from WCVB Boston.
When you've been stepping up since you were little, when your impulse is always to help, it shows. We are the people behind the HCA Healthcare Promise. For our patients, for our communities, for each other. You can count on us to show up.
We were doing a story, we were working on a story here in the North End, and we were coming down the street, walking and looking right toward this parking garage here. It's near Congress Street in the Haymarket area, and we were facing that parking garage when all of a sudden we can see floors of it come crashing down. You could see the dust from the concrete just billowing out. We couldn't even get to our camera fast enough to record it in real time, but take a look at this video. If we can pull that up, that is the moments after the structure, part of that structure came down, and you could just see the smoke billowing out, and it just kind of hung in the air for several seconds. And I will tell you, Nathalie, it felt like within seconds. It felt as quickly as it happened. We could see the blue flashing lights from first responders just getting right to this area so fast, and you can see a multitude of them in the area of Congress Street, Boston Fire, Boston Police. We've got state police all here blocking this area. We've seen several ambulances. At this point, crews are unable to tell us whether or not there are any injuries, waiting for any kind of official information on that front. But I did talk to a number of people. Nathalie, you know, it's a Saturday afternoon. It's right around early dinner time. A lot of people were out here heading to restaurants in the North End, spending their time in the Haymarket area, and a lot of people were in this area when this parking garage here behind me came crashing down. I talked to one man. He told me he could hear jackhammers. Officials saying this parking garage is under construction. He told me he could hear jackhammers just moments before he watched that parking garage, some of those floors come crashing down. Now, a very, very active situation right now. Like I mentioned, a number of police officers, first responders here in the Haymarket area have this area closed off. I did talk to another person who told me she could hear the sound of it. She said it sounded like thunder, and she said, but that thunder just kept going. So waiting for more information from officials as they tried to get a hold on exactly how this happened, exactly what has happened, and whether or not anyone was hurt. Nathalie?
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. And we will keep you updated on that breaking news situation. Suspect arrested in case of missing Nevada woman. Let's take a listen to that video from ABC News.
To a breaking story overnight, an arrest in the case of a woman who went missing from a parking lot in Nevada. Phil Lipoff is here now with more. Phil, good morning.
Good morning, Gio. It's been 2 agonizing weeks for Naomi Arian's family, as you might imagine, waiting for any word on where she might be. Overnight, as you mentioned, that arrest, and possibly one step closer to answering that terrifying question. Overnight, a suspect in the alleged kidnapping of 18-year-old Naomi Arian taken into custody after a nearly 2-week nationwide manhunt.
I'm so excited and joyful, yet I'm super terrified because
We still don't have her back.
The county sheriff's office identifying the suspect as 41-year-old Troy Driver of Nevada, now being held on charges of kidnapping. Authorities also impounding a pickup truck they say was possibly involved. Emotions running high for the missing teenager's family.
Definitely optimistic. Yeah, definitely. I feel in my heart of hearts that Naomi is alive.
Authorities still searching for Naomi, who was last seen in these images visiting a Walmart in Fairleigh, Nevada on the morning of March 12th, the day she went missing. This surveillance footage capturing a man walking around the store's parking lot. In part of the video, not released to the public, a man opens Naomi's driver's side door, stepping into the vehicle. Her mother speaking to our Kayla Hartung earlier this week about watching that terrifying footage.
When you watch the surveillance video that you have been allowed to view, how does it make you feel?
Angry. So angry. And horrified. I'm so angry. So angry. Some monster has my baby. We don't know what's happening to her right now. But we have to find her.
Heartbreaking for her family. Right now, as of this morning, there is no word if Driver is cooperating with investigators. The sheriff's department does say there were other cars in that parking lot when Naomi disappeared. They are now looking for any of those drivers to come forward with any information that could help bring Naomi home. Eva?
Lipoff, thank you so much.
Well, hey there, GMA fans. Robin Rock.
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. And that does it for this evening edition of the Riley King Newscast, right here on the Riley King Network. Thank you for tuning in and watching. Have a great evening. Good night and goodbye.